we're gonna chill back today with my friend Penny Semaia, my man. So right now he's currently at Pitt University, and your title is what now?
Senior Associate Athletic Director for Student Life.
Okay. And so before that, what were you doing? You were doing something were you helping athletes with colleges or finding jobs and stuff?
So I've been in the same role or same space where our whole mission is to help prepare our student athletes for success in life during college and success in life beyond college. I pretty much just climbed the ranks, and now I oversee the whole area.
Love it. Awesome. So, I have some teammates or some friends and coworkers that were teammates, of yours. We just spoke about Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron Price. I know you played with Chris Hurd.
Yeah.
And then you helped Steve Dale,
Yep.
who's been working with us. And, so tell me a little bit about how, you kind of even got into that. What even made you think, maybe this is something I'm interested in doing is what you're doing right now. How'd that all transpire?
Well, it was really the actions and behaviors I exhibited as a student athlete. As a young student, as a young kid even, going back to my days in Utica, New York, I was always participating in multiple things. I was more than just a one talent type person. Participated in music, I did classical viola, I was in acting.
I could see you. As soon as I saw you, I figured, I think he does classical violin. I think that's exactly what I would pin you for.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to wear it out there, right?
That's right.
But all of those things that I did naturally because of my interest in working with people and just being around people, it kind of trickled into what I did in college. As a student athlete, I was real active. I was real ingrained into university culture. I didn't live in the bubble of athletics, but many of my best experiences came from athletics, but also some of my great experiences came from working in admissions office or volunteering on campus to do other programs or being on student groups. So what that led to was a mentor of mine. Her name's Donna Stamp. She's retired. She's a former gymnast, former head coach, former administrator.
Okay.
She said, Penny, you'd be great in this role. And she reached out to me and I applied, and legitimately this has been my second job since I graduated from college.
That's awesome.
And I've been blessed to be in it for about 15 years now.
So, I had my nephew, my godson was asking me some questions. He's graduating high school right now at Newcastle and getting ready to go to school, and he's asking me, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should take up? And, so I start digging into some of these questions, and some of what you said was coming out. I started asking him, what comes natural, to you? What do people say that you're good at? What are some things that kind of, maybe you're good with people, or, what kind of is something that comes natural to you? Is it, you think it part of what you're doing right now seems like it's almost your calling, like your passion. How much of what you do right now is something you feel like just fit right into who you are?
Well, I think all of it. One of my key values is authenticity, being genuine with the people I'm with, being authentic to me and my faith. I have a strong faith, my Christian faith, and I know that I'm serving as a vessel. And all my actions, all my behaviors need to reflect my values. And that's something that is really important to me, from even the things you see, what I post on social media. It's rare that I post something huge or consistently, because I feel it's more powerful when your words are authentic to let them flow in their authentic format. So helping young people find that, I have a 4-step process. First, passions. They all start with peace. Passion. What are the things that when we step off our bed and we just feel that we know we're being driven towards something?
What are you passionate about?
What are you passionate about?
Yep.
Second, help filtering your passions to purpose. Now, I mentioned earlier, I love music, but I knew I'm not going to be standing on stage at Carnegie Hall performing in front of thousands of people.
Right.
So we need to happen to filter our passion to purpose. How do we align our passions to a purpose that can help us drive? And the third step is plan. What's the plan? We all know from the business model, SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely.
Yeah.
So having that, and then also something from my good friend, Dr. Charles Small, a personal board of directors or mentors, people who have strengths in areas that you know will help you grow.
Huge
Will
piece.
help you grow. And I know
Huge
mentorship is big for you.
No doubt.
And the fourth one is why I love the grind. Get ready, it's a new day. I call it the pursuit. No one's gonna wake you up in the morning. You gotta wake yourself up.
No doubt.
What are you doing to get out of bed and going? What's keeping you motivated and driven? When you think of those people that you're working for, your why, that's the plan. So passion, purpose, plan, pursuit.
Love it. What sticks out, you know, for me, it's the grind. I talk a lot about mental growth, physical growth, spiritual growth. You know, I think if somebody had to pick, you know, for me, what describes Simon the most as a leader? What does he preach the most? It would be mind, body, and spirit, you know, kind of growing yourself in those areas. If somebody that I, you know, ask about you that works with you, you know, what things, components jump out, you know, that makes you, you know, you, what things do you preach the most, do you think?
Attitude, you know, the right attitude. Like in my office, on the door, on your way out my door, you'll see a word dominate. And the reason why I put dominate up there is not just the machismo-ness of trying to dominate someone, it's dominating your next task. And it's having the right attitude. My friends know me as the high five and a smile guy. As cheesy as that sounds, I guarantee you, if you go up to a stranger and say high five and smile, they're gonna smile back. And the instant reaction is the power we have to impact someone's life. So if I were to say, what is it that my friends, my peers, my students would say about me, it'd be attitude and passion.
Love it. So being that, you know, part of what you oversee now is not only just the student life during school, but kind of as that transition happens outside of college, as an athlete or as a student, what piece of advice would you give to, you know, young people graduating, going into, you know, what advice are you giving these folks? And then also, you know, what do you see is the biggest challenge for them? You know, if you've seen some folks have some challenges coming out of that, or what are some of those challenges so we can kind of prepare for that? And what is your advice for some of these folks as they transition out?
Well, one, I would say diversifying your experiences. The best quality of moving forward is identifying what are other things you can exercise your passions. You know, take sports, for example. I know you've been really successful in your industry because from your sports background, you took competitiveness and you became a top DB. Then you move forward as a business owner and CEO and use that same competitiveness in a totally different realm. So diversifying your portfolio means just diversifying your experiences where we're exercising these same traits and skills or our strengths. So get out there and get outside of the bubble of the one lane. You got to see multiple lanes. The second piece I would say is reflection. My favorite quote is from the late Professor Randy Pausch, who wrote the last lecture. He said, experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. So that means whenever we experience something, whether we succeed or fail,
No doubt.
like John C. Maxwell, either you're succeeding or you're learning.
That's right.
Everything
That book,
that's cool.
sometimes you win, sometimes you learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No
And reflecting in our experience means don't stay back there. You got to keep your posture forward. You just look back and say, all right, I went through that. I learned this. Now let me apply it.
No doubt. So what would your advice be? I think so much of life is, you know, today's the opening of our first office that we purchased and built. You know, and I remember my first office was probably the size of this, maybe 1,000 square feet or 800 square feet. It was 3 people, you know, my mother and I, and then we've expanded out to 12 offices, 5 states, and this building is 30,000 square feet. But there's been a lot of obstacles, a lot of trials, a lot of tribulation. You know, what a lot of, you know, much like you know, a lot of my office is filled with different scriptures. You know, I feel like one of the keys for us has been, you know, I never felt like I was building this for God, but I felt like I was building it with God. You know, so when I would hit problems or obstacles, it was like, okay, God, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? It's not like I'm going to get it all perfect on my own and then I'm going to present this the way that I wanted it. It's like I never could have done this stuff without having that spiritual piece with me. But, you know, there's going to be obstacles. The bigger the dream, the bigger the devil. You know, and I think the bigger your vision is, the more people that you're going to help. I think sometimes the bigger the obstacle is going to be. And so I see a lot of people do well in life until they hit an obstacle or they have a adversity or a setback and then not know how to handle it. What advice do you have for a young person that, about, do you think they're going to have any obstacles? If they do, what advice would you have to kind of come out of that?
Right. So my good friend, Dr. Christian Conti, always says there's two types of people in this world. Those with problems and those who are dead. Right?
Yeah.
And that's real.
Yeah.
Right? And we all face adversity. We all face challenges in our lives and we all face barriers. And one of the key elements to that is resilience. How can we become resilient or know that we can move forward? First, preparation. How are we preparing for any challenge, any obstacle? Almost like a Jason Bourne effect. My partner, she laughs at me every now and then because I'll never sit with my back to the door because I like to see who's coming and going. I like to just be aware and conscious of my space. Maybe overboard, but that's a sense of awareness. That's a part of my instincts. How are we making sure we're building certain instincts to help us prepare for that? But then for the unexpected side, one of the things that I think specifically with men is it's hard for men to ask for help.
No doubt.
It's
No
hard
doubt.
for men to ask for help.
Absolutely.
And we need to know and understand that those who are in our personal board of trustees or our personal board of directors,
Your circle, your mentors.
your mentors,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
are the ones who we can rely on for help.
No doubt.
Because for me, I learned this from a good friend named Jason. The mindset is, which I learned through Jason Rivers, was lift as we climb. Because those that we're also lifting will also lift us when we need it to.
No doubt.
So making sure we got one, a good sense of preparation on how to be resilient, and two, not being afraid to ask for help.